Last week, I talked about the commandment, love thy neighbor as thyself, and examined the definition Jesus gives for the word neighbor. That is, who is my neighbor that I am supposed to love as myself? So, now that we've discovered who our neighbor is that we are to love, we must examine the word love. How is it I am to love my neighbor? What does it mean, actually, to love my neighbor as myself? Perhaps the best known and most widely quoted definition for love is found in the New Testament in the book of Corinthians, 1 Corinthians chapter 13. There, the Apostle Paul defines love, and he not only tells what love is, but he tells what love is not, and that is as important as knowing what love is. Paul says love is kind, gentle, patient. Love can bear things that happens to it. Love can endure everything. Love has a positive attitude, a positive outlook, not only on life, but on other people. Love does not expect the worst out of people, it expects the best out of people. And love does not think bad things about other people, love thinks good things about other people. Love is positive and uplifting. That is love. Paul also defines what love is not. Love is not jealous, it is not arrogant, it does not brag, it is not unbecoming. Love does not demand its own way. Love does not provoke others to anger or to sorrow. Love does not approve of injustice. Love does not hold a grudge and does not demand compensation. So then, what does it mean for me to love my neighbor? Well, it means I must be kind and gentle with him. I must not be arrogant. I must not behave around him in an unbecoming manner. And I must not place demands on him. I must not demand that he have the same beliefs I have, that he have the same ideas I have, that he live the same lifestyle as I have. That would not be love. If I love my neighbor, I want him to be as happy as I am. I don't want to do things that I know will make him unhappy, that will cause him sorrow, that will take away the quality of his life. If I am to love my neighbor as myself, then I want him to have as nice a life, as good a life as I have. I want him to have the same joy in life I have. I want him to have the same happiness I have. That is how I am to love my neighbor. In last week's video, in talking about neighbor and defining my neighbor, I mentioned that maybe if I'm on the road in trouble as the traveler in the story of the Good Samaritan, and all of a sudden 2 gay guys come along. 2 gay guys who would like to be married but are told they can't. And these are my neighbor. These are the guys who pick me up, put me in their car, take me to a clinic, even pay for my treatment, and then go about their business, never demanding any compensation, just doing it out of love for their neighbor. These are my neighbors whom I must love. So what does that mean? How should I treat them? If I am to love these neighbors who have come to my aid, then it means I must be kind and gentle with them at all times. I must not be arrogant. I certainly must never behave in a manner unbecoming, and I must not place on them demands. I must not demand that they have the same beliefs I have, that they have the same ideas I have about marriage, about relationship. I must not place my demands on them, especially since my demands might take away from their happiness, might deprive them of their joy. Just as I would not want anyone to take away my happiness, to deprive me of my joy, I must not do that to the neighbor whom I am to love. The simple truth is, if we see each other as neighbors, and we treat each other with the same amount of respect, the same amount of kindness, the same amount of gentleness, the same amount of love as we would like to be treated with, then what a better world we would have. What a better life we would have. If you want a better life, you want a nicer world to live in, it's really quite simple. Simply love your neighbor as yourself, and perhaps he will in turn do the same for you. And then both of you will be happy. In the end, we will all be much happier. Peace.